Okay, great. Hi, my name is Evelyn from we.CONECT. I'm here with John. Hi, John. Welcome to Pharma MES.
Thank you.
Please tell us about yourself and your position.
I work for Pharma. I'm the IT business partner for product supply, which in Bayer covers production, quality, engineering, supply chain, the classical middle ground of the pharma industry. And I'm responsible for the IT system implementations across our plant network, supporting our business. And in the last while, more and more involved in the digital roadmap as well as we start to explore the value of some of the new technologies that are available to us.
Okay, great. And what about your topic today? How was it? What were the key insights that people took away?
I was using one of our manufacturing plants where we've implemented a number of different, let's say, digital use cases or Industry 4.0 use cases, and trying to share with the folks at the conference the learnings that we've taken from what is really a journey of implementing these. So, as an old IT guy, right, I'm used to implementing ERP systems and MES and LIMS systems. And they have a very defined methodology, and suddenly you're in the digital world and it's much, much different. I think, some of the things I try to communicate in my presentation were first the importance of bottom-up involvement from the organization. So our experience was that the shop floor operators and the lab analysts were the ones who really understood the process in detail and were the ones who were coming with the improvement ideas. So buy-in at all levels of the organization, I think, is one. Another learning that I shared was not to be afraid to fail, right? So, we're very, in product supply, typically structured in terms of how we make investments and there's a strict return on investment policy and we have to have a business case. And very difficult at the moment to calculate some of those things when you're talking about innovation and new technologies and new ways of working. So Bayer, I think, has been very open to a more experimental approach or taking additional risk than we would normally take. And we've seen the benefit of that in terms of improvements at the sites where we're running out these use cases. So one of the learnings I try to share with folks is, don't be afraid to fail. Not all of this is going to work first time, but you will learn as you go and try and treat it as a journey and a learning experience, not as a failure.
Okay, great. On to other things about your company. Please tell us one project that you're working on and what are the challenges you're going through. And on those challenges, what are the solutions that you have implemented?
So let's pull it back to something that's more relevant to the context of the conference. So we're in the middle of an MES rollout roadmap across our manufacturing network. We have 20 plus manufacturing sites. And I think one of the big issues for us is the speed of how we're able to roll these things out. The driver of our agenda and our schedule is master data, readiness of MBRs, not the technology, not the validation. It's do we have enough business people to create master batch records, that are needed for MES. So we're actually talking to a couple of partners about a new approach to how to do this. Somehow called an MES factory approach, which we think has some promise, where the Bayer internal people apply the intelligence of what goes into the MBR and obviously the review and the compliance piece, but some of the sort of the logistical work and the data crunching work can be done by a partner in a controlled way. So that's something that we're exploring as a way of increasing the speed of throughput of our MES projects, and rather than doing one or two in a year, maybe we can do 4 or 5 in parallel and really try to drive it now more aggressively through the network.
Okay, that's good. On to the conference now. How do you find the conference so far, since this is a very highly effective networking event? So how do you find it? What are the things that we should improve on? And have we surpassed your expectations?
It's a bit early now to be surpassing the expectations, but certainly meeting them so far. I mean, it's half time on the first day. I thought, every speaker at the opening of the conference addressed topics that I was actually referring to in terms of our digital journey on the Bayer side, whether it was how to justify investments with ROI, whether it was the challenges around validating some of these new technologies and use cases, whether it was just the practicalities of introducing new technologies in a kind of a very well established pharma culture and way of doing things. Each of the speakers said something that resonated with me, and I was able to refer back to them when I was doing my presentation. So that was the first thing. I think relevance seems to be super high. And the second thing is, the networking is already outstanding, right? So just from 7:15 this morning, before the conference started, I already had 2 meetings. Then at the coffee break, I had 2 more. Some people I knew already from the industry, others I'm meeting for the first time, and I'm sure that'll continue. It's really powerful from that perspective.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining the conference, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah.